I'd like to welcome our very special guest. I know a lot of you decided to come out tonight, even though it's raining, because you love what kind of animals? Reptiles. So Mr. Scott Peterson is here with his reptile buddies. And can we give Mr. Peterson a big round of applause?
Okay, let's make sure you know what a reptile is. So say the answers out loud. What's on their skin? Scales. Oh, that's easy. Scales. Do they have a backbone like people? Yes, they do. In fact, reptile bodies are very much like our bodies. Do people have scales? Oh, right there. Your fingernails and toenails are scales. That's keratin, same thing. Do reptiles lay their eggs on the land or in the water? Just land. And are they warm or cold-blooded? Cold, except for one reptile. Which reptile is warm? Leatherback sea turtles. 2,000-pound sea turtles. They swim in the cold water so their bodies are warm. Our first reptile is a turtle. Can a turtle come out of its shell? No. The shell is part of their body. It's their ribs. And we have a turtle here that doesn't swim. He only lives on the land, so he's a tortoise. This is a desert tortoise from Africa.
Look at that one, huh?
The friendliest animals on earth, the tortoise. His name is SpongeBob Scalepants. And you can tell, I know he's a tortoise because his arms are covered with giant scales. And what does he do with his arms? He digs tunnels 30 feet long in the ground. It gets so hot in the desert in Africa, the sun would kill them during the day. He has to dig, and guess what? He shares his tunnels with other animals. Even venomous snakes, they get along with him. He shares his home with everybody. They're really good for a desert ecosystem. Oh, do you know why tortoises are slow? His shell is so strong, you can drive a car over his back and it won't break. So he doesn't have to run away from anything. Not even a lion can eat him. He just hides in his shell. And he's a plant eater. You don't have to be fast to catch a plant. He just eats grass. He's my lawnmower. Oh, he's in no hurry because they can live 200 years. He's only 40 now. And, oh, you see those two big points under his chin? Those 2 points, the boys have those for fighting. The males are always ramming into each other head on. They flip each other over. That's how they fight. I need someone to help me hold a lizard. This is tough. It's how about a gray shirt right there in the front? Yeah. Or just a big seagull. It's a hand-foot seagull right there. Okay, hold your arm up. Now you're holding. He's gonna sit on your shoulder. Let's put him over. He's gonna sit on your shoulder. Yeah, just walk out front there. Bearded dragons will just hang out with you all day. He doesn't bite or run away. His name is Pokey because he is covered with spikes, and that's so animals won't eat him. He's hard to swallow. He likes to eat bugs. And by the way, if you have a lizard, you can get freeze-dried crickets and mealworms now, so you don't have to mess with the live ones. That's awesome. He's called a bearded dragon because when two boys see each other, the throats turn black. In fact, if he sees himself in the mirror, his throat turns black and he'll attack himself in the mirror. The boys are very territorial, so we'll let you pet him after the show. Just remember, animals usually don't like their faces touched, so that's all okay. He sticks like Velcro, so here we go. There you go. Thank you very much. We have a lizard now that climbs trees. He's from the rainforest in Asia. I call him Tarzan. It's a monkey lizard. Also known as the prehensile-tailed skink. He hangs by his tail from branches because he likes to eat leaves and fruit. So he just lives in the trees where his food is. That's how he gets his leaves. Oh, you gotta hold him by the tail because his claws are so sharp, they can scratch you and make you bleed. Look at it. He sticks to tree bark. He's green for camouflage. Oh, I know he's a boy because with many lizard species, boys have heads bigger than girls. And the reason is, it avoids fighting. If two boys crawl up to each other, the one with the smaller head will see the bigger head and he'll just give up and go away. They don't fight. Oh, but girls have a much bigger body, and that's because they have a really big baby. They don't lay eggs. They have one baby and is born alive after 9 months, just like a human, yes. And the baby is 1/3 the size of the adult when it's born, a giant baby. He even has a belly button like people. Oh, a couple of reptiles even have a placenta like mammals. It's weird. Do kangaroos have placentas? No, marsupials don't. Oh, how did I get Tarzan? He was born at my reptile zoo. He was captive bred. I never catch wild animals and bring them home. If you bring home a wild animal, hey. If you bring home a wild animal, they don't live very long and they're not happy, so captive bred is much better than wild caught. Here's a little tree in my house. Okay, now only one lizard will attack people. That's the Komodo dragon. They are 10 feet long. They eat people in Indonesia. But my insurance won't cover those, so we're going to talk about poisonous lizards. Venomous. The only lizards that are venomous are from the desert in Arizona and Mexico. It's the Gila monster and its cousin. This is Sheila the Gila, and she's not a monster. Sweetest little thing. If you ever find one of these in Arizona, relax. They won't come towards you, but don't pick up a wild one, because if you do, they'll get scared. They don't know you, and if they bite you, you won't die. But it will be the most painful experience of your life. They say this is the most painful animal bite on earth. Yeah, that bright pink color is a warning there's pain here. But she knows me. I've had her over 20 years. Oh, she has a forked tongue. So what does she do with her tongue? Smells with it. Yeah, just like a snake. Her tongue tells her which way to turn to follow her food. And their number one food is bird eggs. Yeah. And guess what? When they find a bird's nest, they don't eat all the eggs. They leave some eggs in the nest so the parent birds will have babies to raise, and they'll have more food in the future. It's really smart not to eat all the eggs, you know. Oh, look at her tail. She can go a year without eating because she stores food in her tail. Her tail is full of fat, and her body too. Fat is stored food. And because she's cold-blooded, she only has to eat 1/10 as much food as a warm-blooded animal. It's an advantage to be cold-blooded. Oh, her number one enemy is the roadrunner. First thing roadrunners do is they peck out their eyes of their prey. But look, her little black eyes look just like the little black scales on her face. The roadrunner can't see her eyes, and that saves her life. Her eyes are camouflaged. Oh, do reptiles have feelings and emotions like people? They do. In fact, the part of your brain that your feelings come from, it's a little thing in the middle of your head called the amygdala. And they have an amygdala too, and they do have feelings. She loves to be petted. She'll go to sleep in my arms when I pet her. Very affectionate. Okay, now let's see if this alligator will do her trick. Lucy, the alligator pee doesn't smell. There's no germs in it. You can drink it and it won't hurt you. So. You didn't know about Gatorade? You know, alligators don't have a bladder. They can't hold it in. She goes about every 3 minutes. Oh, Lucy's going to do another trick. This alligator is going to go to sleep on the count of 3. What? Okay, Lucy, that was very funny. Now hold still. still. Look at me. You see? 3. Go see concrete. Okay. 1. You want to get Now they really do go to sleep. They just don't count very good. But here's how it works. It's simple. When you push down on their eyes, their blood pressure drops and sometimes they pass out. Watch. I just rubbed her eyes a couple times. It doesn't take very much. Okay, we just rubbed eyes just like that and she's gone. But don't try that on a big one. They have to be calm for that to work. Okay. Hey, how big do alligators get? They never stop growing. They live 100 years. We're talking 1,000 pounds and 18 feet. We have big males at my reptile zoo at Monroe that are like dinosaurs. They're amazing. And we have an albino alligator there too. Crocodiles eat people more. So here's how you tell the difference. Look at the nose. Crocodiles have the long, skinny nose. Alligators have a short, wide nose. She's an alligator. What's your tail for? Swimming. It's a propeller. Watch. You see, propeller, go fast, come on, go fast, go fast, fast, come on, fast, go fast, 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 come on, fast. Lucy, go fast, go fast. There you go, fast. Yeah, I'm gonna let you pet her after the show. Let's do snakes. 4 kinds of snakes in America are poisonous or venomous. What are they? Rattlesnake, that. Eastern Washington. Snakes around here are not venomous. Oh, by the way, rattlesnake bites are less than 1% fatal. Rarely fatal, so you don't need to kill rattlesnakes. Number 2 has a head the color of a penny. What is it? Copperhead. A small brown viper back east. Watch your step. Their bite doesn't kill you. It's rarely fatal. Oh, number 3. If you're in a swamp where alligators live, water moccasin or cottonmouth. And the last one can be deadly. 1 drop of the coral snake's venom will kill you. So coral snakes have a warning. They have red rings to tell you they are deadly. Coral snakes have red. Their bites are 40% fatal. He's going to shed his skin, so he's not as red as he usually is. But there's red rings right there. See that? But this is a trick. It's not a coral snake. It's just a harmless milk snake. Milk snakes look like the coral snakes, so animals won't eat them. So here's how you tell the difference. There's a little poem that says, if red touches yellow, you're a dead fellow. And if red touches black, you're okay, Jack. What does a red touch? Red touches a black, so you're okay, Jack. It's a milk snake. But if the red touches the yellow, you're a dead, then you put it down. And the poem only works in the United States. Oh, they don't drink milk. You know what happened? Somebody tried to milk their cow. Their cow didn't have any milk. They saw one of those snakes in the barn, and they blamed the snake on drinking the milk. But snakes don't do that. Why was the snake in the barn? Snakes eat rats and mice, rodents. And what do rats and mice eat? Jesus, cartoons. Rats and mice eat seeds or grain, like wheat and corn and rice. Snakes save our food, our crops. Guess what? If you take 2 rats, a boy and a girl rat, and you put them in a place where there's no animals to eat them, in the end of 1 year, there could be up to 2,000 rats in that place just from 2. Some rodent species can have 19 litters in 1 month or in 1 year, and their babies reproduce at a month and a half. It's a population explosion. We need snakes. Oh, I forgot to tell you, if you ever hold a snake, a harmless snake, don't squeeze him. I let snakes crawl through my hands. He thinks he's getting away, he calms down. But if you squeeze him hard, it hurts him. It might get bitten. And don't put a wild snake in your face. A wild snake will see your big eyes, your big teeth. They'll think you're going to eat them and they'll bite your nose. I know from experience. Oh, don't worry though. My snakes do not have their venom anymore. I studied animals in college, and the day I get them, I make them go to sleep. I take their venom glands out surgically. They don't have venom, but they still have fangs. So I want you to stay behind this line here. This is the line of death. We're going to hear this one first. This snake makes a sound. He sounds like Darth Vader. If you ever go to Africa and you hear Darth Vader, you better look down and watch your step. This snake is very hard to see on the ground. If you do step on one of these, 2-inch fangs, the biggest teeth of any snake. Their venom will kill you in 15 minutes. This is the number 2 deadliest snake on earth. It's called the gaboon viper. See if you can hear it. See if you can hear Darth Vader. It's real close. He's doing this. Sorry, that's the chicken. Sorry. Not just the chicken. Not just the chicken. Forget that stuff. Not just the chicken. The first sound was really him, though. The first sound was him. Here he is, the beautiful but deadly gaboon viper. His name is Smiley, and he's very friendly. Check him out. Oh, yes. Oh, look at the shape of his head. It's a triangle, and that means he's a viper. All vipers are venomous. Rattlesnakes are vipers, too. Don't pick up snakes with the triangle heads. Oh, the shapes on his skin trick your eyes. It's an optical illusion. When they hide on the ground, they disappear in leaves. In fact, look at his head. His head looks just like a leaf lying down the middle of the head. Amazing camouflage. They get 7 feet and 30 pounds, the world's largest viper. And these guys can eat porcupines. You just have to swallow porcupine's head first, so the quills point towards the tail. And you know what? Some people are going to feel sorry for the porcupine because they are very cute. But porcupines eat trees. Too many porcupines, no more trees left. We need animals that eat other animals. There's no trees, there's no toilet paper. That would be terrible. Every animal is... Hey, what is it called when animals and plants are connected in nature? When things are connected, it's an ecosystem. Yeah. Every animal is important in nature. Oh, what's the number 1 deadliest snake? What? Yeah. Number 1 deadliest. Black mamba from Africa. Their bites are 90% fatal to humans. You know the great white shark? Their attacks are only 25% fatal. Mamba's 90%. We have one in my zoo, but he's 10 feet long now, and they're the world's fastest snake. He's just too hard to handle. I'm done with him. There are 5 snakes in the world eat people. We have one of them here today. But guess what, guys? Just one. One person in the whole world gets eaten by a snake each year. They think it's that rare, about 1. So I need 8 of you to help me with this man-eating species. Green coat, red coat, pink coat, blue coat, black shirt, purple coat, black coat, and gray shirt. Yeah, gray coat. Yeah. All right, you guys, just kind of stand on the front of the stage or line up over there, face the audience. Put your shoulders together. You got to get close together. It's just a little one, so you got to get close. Just line up, put your shoulders together, get close together, squeeze in. Here we go.
Are you watching him when he does that? It's okay.
this python is three or 4 years old, just a little one. He could be 400 pounds and 25 feet. He's about 50 pounds now. But don't worry, he won't eat you because he was raised by people. So he knows you're not his food. He's smelling you with his tongue, he knows. Oh, pythons are not the biggest snake. What's the biggest snake? Anacondas at 600 pounds. You can see one at our zoo. Oh, how many backbones does a python have? 300 vertebrae, a lot of bones. And they have 10,000 muscles. They are amazing constrictors. They just squeeze animals to death. Oh, how do I know he's a boy? Pythons and boas, boys, if you look under his tail, right where he goes potty, right where your hand is, he has two big claws. Boys have claws and they can move them. The boys tickle the girls with their claws when they like them. That's a dinner and a movie for snakes. Okay. Now, before I let you pet and hold the animals, kids, remember, touch the animals softly, be gentle, don't squeeze them. Wash your hands for other people's germs since we are all touching the same thing. So why don't you kids stand up? Let's get all the kids on the floor to stand, or on the ground. Stand up. You can take turns holding the python, pet the animals, get your picture with Lucy. I'm Scott Peterson. Thank you for coming out tonight. Come on in.